everybody. I'm grateful. And I'd like to see you more. I'd like to see you more. And I'll be here 3 services a week. Be a blessing to your family. Be a blessing to you. And be your faithful. Amen.
Amen.
Be your faithful. Turn to Isaiah chapter 6. Isaiah chapter 6, please. Hope you got your Bible. I said before, the Bible's out across the country. I said that a woman would not go to Walmart without a pocketbook. And a deer hunter would not go to the woods without his gun.
Amen.
A fisherman would not go to the lake or the river without his rod and reel. And so when you don't carry a Bible, you show lack of concern for the Word of God.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Lack of concern. I would hate to know that a God who is as great as our God is, who condescended to become a man and died on the cross and shed his blood and suffered the awful circumstances of Calvary's death, I would show my respect to him. And just going to his church on Sunday.
Amen.
And carry the Bible. Amen. It's no coincidence. I don't think that Dave Dixon opened up talking. I'm going to say just a few words and we'll preach you. Talking the way he did. If you could see the top of my notes here, I won't pull them out, but if you could see the top of my notes here, you would see that I wrote this down. I said, comment on this. This is what I wrote. I said, comment on this. People either do not believe that what the preacher says is God's message, or they deliberately disobey God.
Yes, sir.
It's one of two. Now, I do think that the most people just simply do not believe that what God's preacher says is from God. They think this is something he chose for his opinion. That's what they believe. And so, you're going to have to make up your mind this morning, right now, one of the two, which one you're going to choose. Yeah. Am I going to believe that what my preacher is saying is just my preacher? It has nothing to do with God. It's just him. It's just his thoughts. It's just his mind. It's just his opinion. Or, if I believe that, then when it's stated, then I'm just not going to believe it. It's a big deal, ain't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
Trees getting quiet out there.
Amen.
God's got to make it real. I want to say it one more time, I'm going to tell you. Do you believe that a man can get a word from God? I told men in prayer this morning, I am more certain of the mind of God as to what I'm about to read than I am my own mind. Yesterday, I studied most of the day preparing for tonight. After I got done with that, I went in the house, got something to drink. About 2:30, I went back and studied at 3 and prepared for the night. I went back, sat down in the chair where I pray all the time and study. And I diligently sought God. Diligently sought God. Lord, what do you want me to say to the people tomorrow? While I was praying, I'm telling you, if I know God, I don't say this braggingly, I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do. If I know God, I know God spoke to me with this. Portions of it will be so simple that you'll miss it. But it's what God said. Isaiah 6, I've preached here some over the years. Back to it today in a different light. Isaiah 6:1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also, and word also is a big word, it could have easily been left out there. He could have just said, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord. I saw also, the word also is a comparative word speaking of the fact that he was looking at someone or something else. I saw also the Lord, sitting upon the throne, high and lifted up. His train filled the temple, and above it stood the seraphims, each one having 6 wings. Seraphims are angelic type creatures. With twain he covered his face. With twain or two. With two he covered his feet. And with twain he did fly. And one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the post of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar. And he laid it upon my mouth, and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips. Thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. Stop just a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not sure, even after reading this passage of Scripture for 35 years, off and on diligently, I'm not sure that I understand totally what the sin of the lips was. But you can't read this without understanding that the sin had to deal with something with his lips. In other words, something with his speech, his talk. Because he accuses himself of being a man of unclean lips and dwelling with the people of unclean lips. And then when he's purged, where did God lay that hot coal? His lips. And so there's something about his talk that's fake, that's unreal. Something about his talk that's just not real. And I wonder if our talk is unreal. We talk that we love God. We talk that we believe God. We tell people that we're a part of the church and then don't go to it.
Come on. Right.
We tell people we believe the Bible and don't read it. So something here, there's something that I don't really wrap all of my mind around, though I probably get more of it than I can have time to deal with. But there's something about when he recognizes his sin, he recognizes it's got to do with his talk. Verse 8, verse 7, and he laid it upon that cold, hot coal upon my mouth, and he said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin, that sin is something about the sin in his lips, the sin purged. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And this is our text. Then said I, Here am I, send me. I want to talk to you this morning, or I'll pray and talk to you out of my heart, on this simple thought, who will say, Here am I? Who will say, Here am I? Let's down and pray. Father, thank you this morning, dear God, for the help that you have given to my own heart today. I want to thank you for yesterday. And God, how you placed so real into my heart the Word of God for today. Lord, I pray that somehow, in your infinite power and grace, God, that you would do the same in the heart of everybody here today. Dear Lord, I pray that you would give me clarity of thought, plainness of speech, and a pure motive from my heart. Make my heart sensitive to thine, and give the ears of the people and our Spirit of God to hear with. And Lord, help us, I pray. I pray for those that's lost, please save them. Those that's deceived, God, are just as in need of salvation as those that know they're lost. I pray you save them. And I pray, God, you stir the heart of every saint of God. Well, thank you for what you do. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. And amen. Thank you. You can be seated. Isaiah is a wonderful book. It's one of the larger books of the Old Testament. And it's stated here in verse 1, in the year that King Uzziah died. I saw the Lord. I wished I had the time, but preaching is like nothing else in many ways in the world. You only get folks' attention if you give it 30 minutes, you do well. You're extremely well if you give folks' attention 30 minutes. And so I do not want to talk too much about that. But Isaiah's ministry started in the year that Uzziah, however you want to say it, some call it Uzziah, probably the correct way. But the year that he began preaching, Uzziah was king over Israel, actually Judah. And if you study about the man, you can read about him in 2 Chronicles chapter 26. Uzziah's daddy had been killed. At 16-year-old, Uzziah had taken the throne to rule the people of God at 16-year-old. The Bible said that Uzziah done that which was right in the sight of the Lord. Right. In other words, he was a man that was a spiritual man. He was a man that was submitted to the will of God for his life. He did the will of God for his life. He was a man that was separated to the will of God. You read in 2 Chronicles 26 all the great works that Uzziah did. He built up the house of God. He brought great revival for the house of God. He was just a great king. He ruled for, if my mind's certainly right now, he ruled for, I think it was 52 years. You can give me a little loophole there, but I believe it was 52 years. That he ruled the house of God and ruled the people of God. Stay with me, and I'll be very slow today.
Blessing God.
And he done well. The Bible said that his name became great. And every nation around knew the name of Uzziah. He was a great king. But the Bible said in his last days, his heart got lifted up. He got proud. Yeah. The Bible said that he went into the temple of God and offered up burnt offerings in the temple of God. You remember reading about it? Anybody remember reading about it? Yeah. He went in there and offered up offerings from the temple of God. And Uzziah, the priest at the time, took 80 prophets in with him, or 80 priests in with him, and reproved him. And said, Uzziah, this is not your office. Your office is a king. God had 3 offices. He had the office of prophet. That was the greatest office. The greatest office of God was the prophet. Then the office of the priest. Then the office of the king. And the king's rulership over the people was to be led by the work of the priest and the prophet. Yeah. And so he walked into the priesthood, offered a sacrifice of which he should not be in the priesthood doing, and Uzziah reproved him, and the Bible said he got mad at him. Well, the verse is he got wroth at him. He got angry at him. And Uzziah said, Uzziah said, you can't do this. This is wrong. You can't push yourself into the office of God. And he got wroth at him, and he talked smart to him. And he reached over, and he got a censer, and I don't know what he was going to do with it, where he was going to offer the offering up with it. He might have had his head to hit him with it. I don't know what he was going to do altogether. But anyway, the time that he picked up that censer and defied the will of God, the Bible said that God smote him in the forehead with leprosy. Amen. And he died a leper. And so, this is the day that Isaiah is prophesying in the days of the rule of this king. What's going on in those days? What kind of day is this? You got to let me just kind of get out there a minute. Look at Isaiah 1. Isaiah 1. Oh, Lord, I wish I had more verse 1, the vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. He said, you are an unsubmitted people. I raised you up, and you rebelled against me. He said, the donkey knows its master. The ox knows its master's crib. I raised him, and he said then, you raised the donkey, you raised the ox, and it's supposed to obey you. I raised you.
Yeah.
I brought you up from nothing and nowhere. And you're supposed to obey me.
Yeah.
And you understand what it would be for an ox to disobey its owner and an ass to disobey its owner. He said, but what is it for you to disobey me? It was an unsubmitted hour when he preached. Look at another thing real quickly. Verse number 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel in anger. They're gone away backward. I've got to hurry here. I can't take a lot of time. They've gone away backward. You've seen me do this before. When you go away, if I turn talking to Rick and I walk away from Rick, I go away like this. That's going away forward. To go away backward means this. I've talked to Rick. Rick has given me some instructions. God gave them instruction, and they went away backwards. What they're saying is, no, Lord. Not so, Lord. I'm not going to do that, Lord. Don't talk to me about that, God. Don't lay that on my heart, Lord. Don't speak to me about that anymore, God. I'm going to live my life the way I want to, Lord. I'm going to do things the way I want to, God. They went away backwards. They looked God square in the face and defied God and rebelled against God and said, I'm living my life the way I want to.
Yeah, amen.
People here is doing that. And he said that provokes me to wrath. And I understand this, that I'm a preacher that puts God in front of you and tries to get you to deal with it. A lot of folk get so spiritual, when God confronts them, they're so spiritual that God tells them to go somewhere else. I've seen it for 40 years, if that's the way it is. Let me make a statement. Folk that don't go to church, period, aren't spiritual enough to know God's will for their life.
That's right. Amen. Amen.
So they're unsubmitted. They're sinful. He calls them a sinful nation. Then he says they're unsensitive. Look at verse 5. Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. He said you're unsensitive. I've dealt with you. I've stricken you. I've chastened you. I've whipped you. And you don't even know what's going on. Unsensitive. And then he says you're unsound. Verse 6 rather. He said from the sole of your foot even to the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sore. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. He said there's no soundness in you. You're unsound. You're unstable and you're beat up and you're broken and you've got bruises on you and you're wounded and yet you won't accept the organ of God that your sores may be mollified and they heal.
Amen. God help us.
Help us, Lord. He says something else about them in verse 9 of chapter 3. Verse 9 of chapter 3. I've got to hurry along here. He said the shew of their countenance doeth witness against them. They declare their sin as solemn. They hide it not. They're unashamed. He said the hour that Isaiah was preaching in was an hour of people being unsubmitted, of being unsensitive, of being unsound, and being unashamed of their sin. notice in chapter 3, verse 11, he says, woe. Look at chapter number 5, verse 8, woe. Verse 1, verse 8. Verse 11, woe. Verse 18, woe. Verse 20, woe. Verse 21, woe. Verse 22, woe. He pronounces 6 judgments, 7 judgments upon them. This is the hour that Isaiah is preaching in. You've got to get this picture. And so, the Lord makes this plea in chapter 1, verse 16. He says, wash you, chapter 1, verse 16. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. That's his plea. Now notice his plea. Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Come now, and let us reason together. If you look up that word reason in your Greek concordance, it will tell you that this is a legal word. It's a legal word. And it means to, let's litigate this. Let's bring this into a courtroom and let's litigate this. Let's reason it out in a courtroom. Let's ask yourself the question if it's wise for you to be acting the way you're acting. Let's reason this out. Let's ask this question, can any good come from this? Oh, it's quiet.
Help us.
Let's ask this question, if rebellion is a bad sin. He said in 1 Samuel 15 that rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. I didn't say that. God said, if you rebel against God, you've got the spirit of a witch and a demon and a devil in you.
Right. Wow. Help us.
Let's reason it out. Let's just talk about this. I'd like to just, these church members here, I'd love to just sit down and talk with. I know I can't. I've tried with the 2 of them, they jumped on me. I've been told it ain't none of my business. Now, let me tell you, that's not any of my business.
Bless you.
Is your children's life your business?
Yes, sir. Amen.
You folk have no idea the burden of a man of God. I worry as much about you as you worry about your children. And trying to deal with people that are rebelling is a hard thing to do. He said, come now, let's just talk about this. Let's reason this out. Let's litigate this in a courtroom. He said, now here's what I want to tell you, verse 18. The plea is, come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. But notice the promise. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be. I like to put that word can in my mind. They can be. They shall be. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Hallelujah. Amen. God said, what's wrong? Oh, you got it all wrong. If you just let me reason with you a few minutes, you let me talk with you a few minutes, and you let me ask you some questions, and we get our heads together, and we get honest in our heart. God said, it can be better. I can forgive you and cleanse you and make your life white and clean in my sight.
Amen. Hallelujah.
It don't have to be out of the will of God.
Amen.
You don't have to dread going to church because you're afraid the preacher's going to play your roll out. You can enjoy going. Now, with all of that said, go back to Isaiah 6. There's a lot of things between there. The fact is, chapter 2 and chapter 4 are prophecy concerning the tribulation period primarily. Then you come to chapter 4. Now, the year that King Uzziah died. Now, what's he been looking at? I saw also the Lord. He's been looking at Uzziah and the things around him. But he said it wasn't until he died till to get my eyes on the Lord. So, first of all here, I want to go through this very quickly. There was a vision. He said, I saw the Lord sit upon a throne, high and lifted up, the strength of the temple. He had a vision of God. He saw the highness of God, his position, how high he is. Oh, if there's anything this generation needs to see, it's the highness of God.
Yeah, amen.
He saw the holiness of God. He saw the angels, verse 3, crying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. He saw the host of God, the army of God. He saw the honor of God, the whole earth full of his honor. He saw the house of God. Amen. In verse 4. He got his eyes off the situation around him, and he got his eyes on God. Let me get to the message. He had a vision. Notice what that vision did. That vision brought vexation. Look at verse 5. Then, or then's the key to the verse. When I saw God, when I saw who the Lord is, then said I, woe is I. Woe is me. When he saw God, listen, and I say this without trying to sound mean, I don't want to come forth this evening with you people. That's not my desire. But the reason that people aren't seeing themselves, they ain't seeing God.
Amen.
They think the Lord is just their big sugar daddy that's supposed to answer their prayers and be good to them.
Yeah.
They don't see the Lord as the high, holy, honorable God who has control over the whole earth and wants to rule their lives.
Yes, sir. Amen.
I'm bought with a price. Therefore, I'm to glorify God in my body and in my spirit, Paul said, which are God's. It was a vision. The vision brought vexation. He saw himself. He saw who he was. I told you, you probably think this is simple. When's the last time you took a good look at you?
Amen. Help us, God.
People are divorcing, leaving churches, getting mad at preachers all over the country and blaming everybody for the problems but themselves.
Oh, God.
I ain't done nothing. I mean, I'm spiritual. I know all this stuff, preacher. I wish I could say some of the things that's on my mind right now. I'm big, preacher. I understand. I'm more spiritual than you think I am. Yeah, I hear spirituality a lot going out the door. I hear the spirituality. He said, I saw myself. And he didn't just say, I saw myself. He pronounced on himself the same word God had pronounced on him in chapter 5. 7 times God said, woe, 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 woe is Israel. And Isaiah got the message. I just said, before he said, we are unclean.
Yeah.
He said, I am
Yes, sir.
unclean.
Amen.
When's the last time, oh God, oh. When's the last time that conviction set up in your heart that you was willing to say, woe is me? It's quiet. I see myself. When you see yourself, you don't get a good picture.
No, sir.
The picture you see of you, if you see yourself correctly, is not one of good, you're a good person.
Amen.
It's really not. It's not one of how wonderful you are and how smart you are, because you've got a good job, a good family, a good home, a good house, and good vehicles, and all that stuff. You got your mind made up. I must be a pretty good person. But I want you to forget just a minute. Don't put yourself beside me. Don't put yourself beside you.
Right, yeah.
Put yourself in the balance. The sight of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Amen, brother. Amen. Amen.
Look at his life. We're the pattern of their life. He's our example. He's our pattern.
Yes. Absolutely.
And Isaiah said, I know where I'm living. I know what I'm living around. But woe is me. There was vexation, a broken spirit over his life, his love, his longing for God. He said, not only is it I judge myself, but I look at my society that I live in. I don't understand how some of you people can fit in this world so readily when it's so wicked and so ungodly.
That's right. Amen.
I don't understand that. It's got to be that in heart you're still like them. It's got to be.
Yes, sir.
It makes me sick.
Yeah. Sir.
I read this week in a new magazine that's been out in the last 2 years. It's about education. It's actually a Christian education magazine. They're exposing public education. And it's stated now that 26% of all kids that come out of school can't even read the diploma that they've been handed.
That's right.
And now then, in California just passed a law that the school principal and the teachers down as low as 8-year-old can help a child have a sex change and never have to have the consent of the parent. And we're living in a generation, Miss Keela, that's been called, kids are now said today in our modern society that children are not, that do not belong to the parents. Children belong to the community. And so whatever the community consensus is, that's how the child has to be raised. Christian, listen, teachers are being fired all over America because they won't go along with the anti-God, anti-Bible, anti-Christ agenda.
That's right. Yes, sir.
I just read this week of another teacher that got fired in Michigan because he would not call a girl he.
God help us.
He said, I refuse to call you he. You are a she. And the principal said you either call her he or call them mixed. We've lost our mind.
Yeah, amen.
Our world is in a toboggan slide to hell while we play church.
Amen.
He said, not only do I see myself, I'm unclean, but I see the society I live in. It's unclean. They're teaching right now in Arlington, Virginia, some of these schools. They're teaching things, Miss Karen, that I could not talk to your husband in confidence about without blushing. We're grown men. I could not say some of the words to Dave, I'm talking about privately, without being red-faced, that they're teaching 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're living in the midst of an unclean society.
Amen.
And yet, God help us, the church has lost its power. God help us. God help us.
God help us. You're right.
God help us. And all we're hoping to do is get some preacher to tickle our ears and tell us a few jokes and have a good time with us.
Yeah, amen.
And for God's sake, if you get on anybody and try to make them get responsible and get faithful, they'll quit you.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, sir. Preach. Preach on, preach.
Yes, sir.
Somewhere you feel comfortable.
Right. Yes.
There was a vision. There was a vexation. But then there was virtue. He took a live coal. Oh, listen, that's what my prayers been all day. It's red, dead cold. He took me, you know what a live coal is, don't you? Some of you here in this building, you've grown with fire. You understand the term live coal. A lot of folk grow up with heaters and air conditions and heat pumps and furnaces, and they have no idea what a live coal is. It's a red hot ember. Amen. What our church needs, what our churches need is a live coal. A live ember. That'll touch us. Get inside us and burn. Burn out all the sin. Burn out all the dross. Cauterize the wound. And be marked from that day forth. You're marked that something red hot in heaven touched us.
Yeah.
You're marked. The red hot coal was laid on my jaw right there. I'd be marked for life. I'd be marked the rest of my life. That a red hot coal had been laid right there. God said, this old, dry, dead, cold, burnt out religion ain't gonna do it.
Yes, sir. Amen.
We gotta have a live coal.
That's right.
On the altar of God. It was so hot that the angel couldn't even touch it. He took tongs, brought it down with tongs. So I know this is going to hurt. This ain't going to feel good. But I got to lay this on your lips. They're dirty. You've got a profession with your lips that ain't real with your heart. You're talking something with your lips that ain't real from your heart. I've got to clean your lips up. God said, I know it ain't going to feel good, but the result is that you're going to be clean. Hey! The result is that you're going to be clean. When it's over, you're going to be different.
Yeah.
You're going to be marked.
Amen.
So there is a vision, and there's a fixation. Then there's a virtue. And then I come to what I really want to say, and I ain't going to be long about that. Then there's a voice. After he gets clean, there's a voice. And I thought about this. Here am I. He said, who shall send who will go for me? Isaiah said, here am I. I thought about this. Abraham said that one day. On Mount, God woke him up and said, Abraham, he said, you're my Lord. God was speaking directly to Abraham. He done the same thing in Exodus 3 to Moses. Moses! Moses said, you're mine. He done the same thing to Samuel. In 1 Samuel 3 times, he said, Samuel, Samuel! And Samuel said, here am I. Watch this. He spoke directly to Abraham. He spoke directly to Moses. He spoke directly to Samuel. But he did not speak directly to Isaiah. He didn't say, Isaiah, Isaiah. He said, is there anybody that would like to go for me? Isaiah said, God, you just cleansed my heart. My heart's burning with the love of God. My heart's burning with the laugh of God. My heart's burning with the joy of God. God, I'd be glad to do anything. I'd be glad God do anything for you. My message is simply this. Who do you follow? I like it this morning. I asked God to make me forget that I was at my home church and this church I come into the Bible. There was a boys. Then there was a volunteer. As I said, I'll go. I'm asking Philip, where's God in life, Philip? Where's God? Where's God? Where's God, Brad? Lord, where's God? Cody, where's God? I think that's a fact question, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Where's God? You know, you can sit on the church bench, play an instrument, teach a Sunday school lesson, sing in a choir, lead a choir, preach in a pulpit. And none of it means nothing.
Yeah, amen.
Just formality. Dry rigmarole. My dad used to say this rigmarole. I don't know what that word means. I don't even know how to spell it. Really mean nothing. He said, God means something to me. Let me put you to the test. What's he mean to you on Monday morning when you get up and go to work?
That's good. Amen.
What about when you come home in the evening?
Yeah.
What about Tuesday? What about prayer meeting goes on Wednesday? What about Sunday night church service? You see, it's just the sin of the lip. It's honoring. Jesus said, you honor me with your lips. But your heart. So I want to ask these series questions very shortly and be done. Just a series of few questions. Who'll go for me? Who'll say, here am I, Lord? I'll live a life of separation. Why didn't you? Here am I, God. I'll be the one that will declare the world and unclean and an unholy place, and I'll keep my family out of it.
God help us.
I'll declare it dirty and vile, and I'll believe in James 4:4 that he that'll be the friend of the world is the enemy of God.
Amen.
Here am I, God. These are just the things the Lord told me to speak to you about. Here am I, Lord. I'll be ready for supplication. Psalm 60, Psalm 27:8. And thou saidst unto me, seek ye my face. My heart said unto thee, thy face, O Lord, will I seek. I'll pray, God. Here am I. I'll be one of the ones, God, that pushed the supper back and maybe miss a dinner every once in a while.